some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Watch his flag. Watch his whip. Watch the whip. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Picked off by Brian Poole, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Bell with a first down carry there, as he'll get about 4 out of that. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Bell. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Now, that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now they'll try to sweep with Bell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now Darnold, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting him score a touchdown versus holding him to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know, 3rd down. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On 2nd and a yard, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A big play that time for Cleveland. 58 yards.
1st and goal at the 9-yard. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
They'll run with Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, and the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep for the Browns, Antonio Callaway. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Pulled in at the 24. Skirts by him at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Right there. Hey, Charlie!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On third down, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. This one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is,
he's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. To throw is Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Browns drive about to get started, and they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
From the 41, Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Kill.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Hey, alert!
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ringo.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A first down run for Bell, not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's 2nd down. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Check, Mike, 39. Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Red 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They go with Chubb on second down. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check 49, check 49. Hey, switch gears. Lady. Bravo.
Back to throw, Darnold. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Shift. Red lady. Hey, Haywood.
Darnold from the gun. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Under 10. Man, 36. Hey, watch out.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. He's going to go deep for Conley. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now a first down carry by Bell. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check three, check three, check three. Ready? No, lady. Hey, exit.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Alert three, alert three. Alert three.
Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for New York. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
At the 29-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Throwing, Mayfield. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. A give running right is Chubb. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he cuts it right sideline. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 65 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Their own 24-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Darnold completes it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And again, it's Chubb. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I got it. Run. Hurry! 54, right there. 54, Mike. Switch. Hey, we're 33.
First down, Mayfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Landry, the intended target. After the interception, here's Darnold. Caught here by Conley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Darnold now to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Here's Darnold. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Yeah, I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Chubb. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 37, and he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 34-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield off the play fake. It's caught by OBJ. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43.
Hey, zoom.
Here's Darnold. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, but now it'll be 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 19.
Check 24. Check 24. Check 99. Check 99. Hey, 80. Check 24. Why? Get wide. Check 80. Yo, lady. Watch twist. Yo, lady. Twist. Watch twist. Watch the twist. Switch.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Showing it. Shift. Check 3.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
180. Blue down.
On the ground, it's Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big run that time by Bell. Give him 58 yards on the ground. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. This one caught by Crowder. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 25 yards that time. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Bell. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. To throw is Darnold. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Sione Takitaki in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Zerline good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
They run. Chubb. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On the carry, it's Chubb. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All day, baby, all day. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. Come on, get up.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 37-yard line.
Second. 180.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Browns, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, no. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement, people want here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about being the spot, and you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, something the play, and you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns live off the board, unlike you and your chess man. We installed out in you and your yes man. If the game have veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowd. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard